The City of London blends Roman ruins, medieval landmarks, and modern skyscrapers, offering attractions like St. Paul's Cathedral, the Tower of London, and the Gherkin. Many sites open early in the morning, making it ideal for a full-day exploration of history and architecture. The City of London skyline is defined by striking skyscrapers such as the Shard, 22 Bishopgate, the Gherkin, and the Leadenhall building, blending modern glass towers with medieval landmarks like St. Paul's Cathedral and the Tower of London. These towers symbolize London's renovation as a global financial hub. Both the Tower of London and Tower Bridge are iconic landmarks sitting side by side on the eastern edge of the City of London, each telling a very different story about the city's evolution. Together, they symbolize London's continuity. In this vlog, I'll be visiting the City of London, its skyscrapers, the Tower of London and Tower Bridge, and much more. The City of London is the historic heart of London, founded by the Romans as Millennium in AD 43, and today serves as one of the world's most important financial districts. Despite covering only about 1 square mile, it remains a unique enclave with its own governance traditions and global economic influence. The City of London has Roman origins going back as far as AD 43, when the city was established as Londinium after Emperor Claudius's invasion of Britain. It quickly became a hub for trade along the River Thames. The Romans established the city along the Thames for trade and military strategy. The Romans built walls, an amphitheater, and a bridge across the Thames. In the 5th century, the city was abandoned after the Romans' withdrawal from Britain. By the 9th century, London was reoccupied and fortified against Viking raids. The city became a hub for merchants and trade, with guilds shaping its governance. William the Conqueror granted privileges to the city, ensuring autonomy. The city survived Viking attacks, the Norman conquests, and became a center for commerce and guilds. During the Tudor and Stuart periods, London quickly expanded and the city remained its commercial heart. The Great Fire of 1666 destroyed 13,000 houses, 87 churches, and the St. Paul's Cathedral, although it was rebuilt under Sir Christopher Wren, whose new St. Paul's Cathedral became an enduring symbol. In the 18th and 19th century, the Industrial Revolution fueled growth, where the Bank of London and London Stock Exchange rose in prominence. During the Blitz in World War II, the city was rebuilt and evolved into a global financial powerhouse. In the late 20th century, it emerged as a financial hub rivaling New York and Hong Kong. The City of London is a district from Greater London. It has its own local authority, the City of London Corporation, and ceremonial leader, Lord Mayor of London, which is different from the Mayor of London. The City of London covers just over 1 square mile and is often called the Square Mile. Important symbols of the City of London include the dragon boundary markers, the Guildhall, and the ceremonial traditions like the Lord Mayor's Show, which highlight its autonomy. The City of London is a financial powerhouse, home to the London Stock Exchange, Lloyd's of London, and major international banks. It's one of the most influential financial centers worldwide, rivaling the likes of Hong Kong and New York. Despite its small size, over 500,000 people commute daily into the city for work. Cultural and architectural highlights of the City of London include St. Paul's Cathedral, the Barbican, the historic Guildhall, and Roman remains. The St. Paul's Cathedral was Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece rebuilt after the Great Fire. The Barbican is a brutalist cultural complex with theaters, galleries, and concert halls. The Guildhall is the seat of the city's government since the Middle Ages. There are still fragments of the London Wall and the amphitheater that can still be seen. The City of London, also called the Square Mile, is the historic core and primary financial district of London, England, with its own unique government and ancient privileges, contrasting with the broader metropolitan area of Greater London, and blends medieval streets with modern skyscrapers like the Gherkin, housing the Bank of England and Stock Exchange, alongside landmarks like the St. Paul's Cathedral. The oldest local government in Britain and a major global hub for finance and commerce. Some attractions and landmarks to visit in the City of London include the Tower of London, the Gherkin, and the Cheese Grater, and the Museum of London. With a 800-year history, the City of London mixes Roman ruins with modern icons. The area is home to some of London's most popular attractions, including Tower Bridge and St. Paul's Cathedral, as well as iconic modern buildings such as the Gherkin and Cheese Grater. Explore fascinating, unusual museums, find world-class art at its fine galleries, and relax in green spaces, bars, restaurants, and shops. TripAdvisor provides extensive information for visiting the City of London. Here are some must-visit attractions in the City of London. To get to the Tower of London, take the tube to Tower Hill. The tower is a 5-minute walk from the station. The Tower of London is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of London's most iconic landmarks, built by William the Conqueror in the 1070s. Somewhere between 1075 and 1079, the White Tower was built. However, the tower received additions in the 13th and 14th century. It might surprise you, but the tower even served as a royal mint from the 13th to 18th century, and royals kept precious possessions as well as arms and armor there. The White Tower is also called the Bloody Tower, where it served as a prison for more than 800 years, marked by extreme political and religious unrest in the 1500s and 1600s. The tower was well known for using torture on its inmates. The Tower of London served as the White Tower, a royal palace, a prison, a treasury, and mint, and today is a museum and ceremonial site, home to crown jewels and the famous ravens. The White Tower was built in 1078. The original Norman keep is a symbol of conquest and royal authority. The royal palace was expanded into apartments, chapels, and ceremonial spaces during the medieval periods. When the Tower of London was a prison, it held famous prisoners like Anne Boleyn, Sir Walter Raleigh, and the princes. It served as the royal mint and safeguarded riches for centuries. The Tower of London is one of the world's most famous fortresses, with many tales to uncover within the ancient walls. Explore the importance of the crown jewels to the British monarchy and the role the tower plays in protecting these treasures. The gleaming objects include the coronation regalia, from the coronation spoon to St. Edward's crown, which have been used in the coronation ceremonies of the monarchs for centuries, including that of King Charles III and Queen Camilla in 2023. Be amazed by the White Tower that was originally built to deter invaders, but now houses majestic suites of armor and exciting hands-on activities for families. The Bloody Tower has an altogether more haunting history. Discover tales in this infamous former prison and learn more about the tower's role as a place of torture at Lower Wakefield Tower, and discover where the majority of the country's coins were made for more than 500 years. Located on Tower Hill, the Tower of London is open from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. with the last entry at 3 p.m. Tickets are €35.80 for adults and $17.90 for children ages 5 to 15. The Yeoman Warders tours are included with admission. Key highlights of the tour include the Crown Jewels, the Yeoman Warders, Trader's Gate, the Ravens, and the Royal Chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula. There are over 23 gemstones, including the Imperial State Crown displayed at the Crown Jewels showcase. The Yeoman Warders are the guardians of the tower, offering tours and traditions. The Trader's Gate is the historic water entrance used for prisoners. Legend says the monarchy will fall if the ravens ever leave. The royal chapel is the burial site of disgraced nobles. The tower symbolizes continuity and resilience, the medieval monarchy anchored in stone, industrial and modern London rising around it, and a living reminder of how power, ceremony, and renovation shaped the city. The Tower Bridge is one of London's most recognizable landmarks, completed in 1894 as both a working drawbridge and a symbol of Victorian engineering. It sits beside the Tower of London, deliberately designed to harmonize with its medieval neighbor. Explore inside the Tower Bridge to discover why it's an architectural and engineering marvel. The Tower Bridge is a bascule and suspension bridge. It crosses the River Thames, connecting the City of London with Southwark. The design is Gothic Revival combined with cutting-edge Victorian machinery. Its function was originally built to allow tall masted ships to access the Pool of London docks. Tower Bridge officially opened on June 30th, 1894 by the Prince of Wales, later King Edward VII. The Tower Bridge is an architectural icon and one of London's most famous attractions. Designed and built in Victorian times, it was the largest and most sophisticated bascule bridge ever completed when it was opened, and still endures more than 130 years later. Enjoy a panoramic view of the city's life from the glass floors and high-level walkways 42 meters above the river. Head over to the magnificent Victorian engine rooms to hear about the lives of people who kept the Tower Bridge going. The permanent exhibition uses photographs, films, and interactive displays to bring the stories to life. Time your visit to coincide with the bridge lifts and see the roadway rise beneath your feet. Check the scheduled lifts online with the official Tower Bridge website to best plan your visit. Experience this iconic London landmark on a self-guided tour or join one of the expert-led guided tours to hear fascinating insights as you visit Tower Bridge's famous towers, east and west walkways, glass floors, and engine rooms. If you want to visit the inside of the Tower Bridge, opening hours are typically between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with the last entry at 5 p.m. The Tower Bridge is a symbol of industrial ingenuity, ceremonial harmony, and modern identity. It represents London's late 19th century expansion and technological prowess. Built to complement the Tower of London, linking medieval monarchy with industrial innovation. Today, it's both a working bridge and cultural icon, often mistaken by visitors for the London Bridge. From the end on the south bank, enjoy panoramic views back towards the city skyline. Explore nearly 1,000 years of history at the Tower of London and see the crown jewels. Gather fascinating insights from the yeoman warders, the guardians of the tower, and spot the ravens. Roam the grounds of the Tower of London, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Join a yeoman warders tour and hear grisly tales of the Tower of London. Visit one of London's most famous and recognizable landmarks, the Tower Bridge. Steeped in history, there's so much to see and do, including walking over the glass walkway and exploring the Victorian engine room. Learn about the rich history of the Tower Bridge. Walk over the stunning 42-meter high glass walkway and see unique views of London from over the Thames River. Use my link to purchase entrance ticket to the Bridge Tower. The walk from Tower Hill to Leadenhall Market is quick, direct, and takes about 9 to 10 minutes on foot. It's one of the most atmospheric short walks in the City of London. Moving from the tower's medieval defensive zones into the Victorian splendor of Leadenhall Market. The site where Leadenhall Market stands was originally part of Roman Millennium, with evidence of a basilica and forum nearby. By the 14th century, Leadenhall was a bustling market for meat, poultry, and fish. In 1881, Sir Horace Jones, also the architect of the Tower Bridge and Smithfield Market, transformed it into the ornate covered market we see today. Today, it's now home to boutique shops, wine bars, and restaurants while retaining its historic charm. Architectural features of Leadenhall Market are its iron and glass roof, its ornate detailings, its cobbled walkways, film frame featured in the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone as the entrance to Dragon Alley. The iron and glass roof is a hallmark of Victorian design, creating a bright, airy interior. The ornate detailing is painted green, maroon, and cream with elaborate motifs. The cobbled walkways are preserved to maintain its historic charm and character. Today, the Leadenhall Market has luxury retailers, florists, wine merchants, and traditional pubs like the Lamb Tavern, a very popular restaurant, a very popular pub for locals. It's a popular place for locals to come for after-work drinks, especially for city workers. The market hosts seasonal events such as the Christmas lights and other cultural events. Leadenhall Market embodies continuity and reinnovation, from Roman Millennium's civic heart to medieval mercantile hub to Victorian architectural jewel to modern lifestyle destination. It's a living overlay of London's resilience, where commerce and culture intertwine across centuries. Horizon 22 is London's highest free viewing platform, perched on level 58 of 22 Bishopgate, offering sweeping 300-degree skyline views, and an advanced booking is required. Admission is free, but advanced booking is required via the Horizon 22 website. Horizon 22 rises 254 meters above street level at 22 Bishopgate in the City of London. It is free to enter, but you must book ahead a time ticket in advance, and there are very limited spots available. The 300-degree panorama of the city's landmark constellation includes St. Paul's, the Shard, Tower Bridge, the Walkie-Talkie, the Gherkin, Canary Wharf, and the Thames River. Horizon 22 is a favorite spot for locals to come during New Year's Eve. Unlike many London New Year's Eve events, your ticket includes premium hospitality throughout the evening, so you can simply relax and enjoy the moment from the city's fireworks from the most exclusive vantage point. From 9 p.m., enjoy unlimited champagne, wine, beer, and soft drinks until 12 a.m., plus gourmet niblets and a sushi and seafood station. Plus, live DJs, dancers, and a saxophonist set the tone for an unforgettable night. At midnight, toast with a breathtaking fireworks view, then dance on until 2:30 a.m. The Gherkin, officially 30 St. Mary's Axe, is one of London's most recognizable skyscrapers, a 180-meter neo-futuristic tower designed by Foster and Partners, completed in 2004. It anchors the city's modern skyline and sits just a few minutes walk from both Horizon 22 and the Leadenhall Market cluster. The Gherkin is one of the capital's most famous buildings. It's a feature of the London skyline and home to offices, a restaurant, and a cocktail bar. The distinctive landmark got its name due to its round, vegetable-like design. The glass-fronted towers was designed by legendary British architect Sir Norman Foster. It took 2 years to construct and features a distinctive spiral design and opened in 2004. Despite its shape, the lens at the very top of the tower is the only piece of curved glass used in the Gherkin. There are 18 passenger lifts which travel at the speeds of up to 6 meters per second. There are 1,037 steps in each of the Gherkin's building stairwells. The Gherkin is covered in 24,000 square meters of glass, which equates to 5 football pitches. The building is constructed from more than 35 kilometers of steel, weighing a total of 10,000 tons. The Gherkin isn't normally open to the public, but you can visit the Helix restaurant and Iris bar, which is located on the top floors and have an amazing panoramic view across the city of London. The Sky Garden is London's highest public garden, a free indoor tropical oasis on the 43rd floor of the Walkie-Talkie or 20 Fenchurch Street, offering sweeping views of the Thames, the Shard, St. Paul's Cathedral, and the city skyline. Advanced booking is required, but the experience is one of the best valued panoramas in London. The Sky Garden is located 155 meters above street level on floors 35 through 37 of the Walkie-Talkie building. The cost is free to enter, but there are time tickets which must be booked in advance. Its lush indoor gardens, floor-to-ceiling glass open-air terrace, live music nights, sunrise yoga, and multiple bars and restaurants create a serene atmosphere. From the top of the Sky Garden, you can see the Shard from across the Thames, the St. Paul's Cathedral framed perfectly through the west windows, the Tower Bridge and Tower of London to the east, and the city cluster, including the Gherkin, Scalpel, Cheese Grater, and 22 Bishopgate rising around you. If you want to dine at the Sky Garden, you can dine at the Darwin Brasserie, a relaxed dining option with panoramic views. There's also a fine dining restaurant at the very top at Fenchurch Restaurant. There's also the Sky Pod Bar with cocktails with live music nights. I would suggest arriving 10 to 15 minutes early for security. The best time to visit the Sky Garden is during golden hour or on clear mornings. For photography, the open air terrace gives the cleanest shots. Join a guided tour with a local guide to visit the City of London and its historic center. On this guided tour, your guide will cover 2,000 years of history and some amazing buildings while exploring the history, food, and drinks of the city. The itinerary can be customized to meet your group's needs and preferences. Use my link to book a guided tour through Go With Guide. The Ghost City All-Inclusive Pass for London offers access to over 100 attractions for a fixed price over a set number of consecutive days, allowing you to save money compared to purchasing individual tickets. The pass is managed through the Go City app, which you can scan for entry at participating locations. Purchase your pass through my link. The monument to the Great Fire of London is one of the city's most symbolic landmarks, built to commemorate the catastrophic fire of September 1666 and the rebirth of London that followed. The Great Fire of 1666 began in a bakery on Pudding Lane, which destroyed 13,000 houses, 87 churches, and displaced around 100,000 people. The monument that commemorates the fire was part of Sir Christopher Wren's broader reconstruction plan alongside the St. Paul's Cathedral. It represents resilience, the city rising from ashes into a new era of commerce and architecture. The monument was designed by Sir Christopher Wren along with Robert Hooke and was built between 1671 and 1677. The monument to the Great Fire of London is 202 feet tall, exactly the distance from the fire starting point in Pudding Lane. Its design is a fluted Doric column topped with a gilded urn of flame symbolizing destruction and renewal. There is a viewing platform accessible by climbing 311 steps, offering panoramic views of the City of London. The sculpture depicts King Charles II overseeing the rebuilding of London. The inscriptions are in Latin, commemorating the fire and the city's recovery. It's a Grade 1 listed site recognized as a site of national importance. The monument to the Great Fire of London is open daily from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. with last entry at 12:30 and 5:30 p.m. It's easy to combine the monument with landmarks such as the Tower of London, Tower Bridge, and the St. Paul's Cathedral. All of these are within walking distance. The monument is less than 10 minutes walk from Cannon Street Station. Cannon Street is one of the historic and symbolic arteries of the City of London, running east to west parallel to the Thames River, and today serves as both a financial hub and a transport gateway. The name Cannon Street derives from Candleridge Street, or Street of Candlelights, recorded in the 12th century, reflecting its medieval trade in candles. A key mercantile street linking Cheapside and the riverside wharfs. Like much of the city, Cannon Street was reshaped after the Great Fire and again after World War II. Today it is lined with offices, banks, and modern developments, but its name preserves its medieval craft heritage. In 1866, as a major commuter rail terminus serving routes to Kent and southeast London. It originally had twin towers and a major hotel frontage, but was rebuilt in the 20th century. It links directly to the Underground, which serves the Circle and District lines, making it a vital node in London's transport system. Cannon Street embodies mercantile resilience and ceremonial continuity. From medieval craft street to Victorian rail hub to modern financial artery, it anchors the city's identity as a place where commerce, ceremony, and connectivity converge. St. Paul's Cathedral is London's greatest Baroque landmark, designed by Sir Christopher Wren and completed in 1710, with its 365-foot dome dominating the skyline and protected by law. Its construction started in 1675 officially and was completed in 1710. Its outer dome is 278 feet in height. Its inner height is 225 feet. It has a unique triple shell structure which consists of an outer dome, brick cone, and inner dome. It's listed as a Grade 1 heritage site. St. Paul's Cathedral is one of London's most recognizable monuments with legally protected sightlines. It's a site of major national events such as the funeral for Sir Winston Churchill, Charles and Diana's wedding, Jubilee, and memorial services. Earlier cathedrals on the site date back to 604 AD. Visitors are required to purchase tickets for sightseeing. Tickets include access to nave and choir, the crypt, and the dome galleries. Famous artworks include William Holman Hunt's painting, The Light of the World, and the Henry Moore sculpture, Mother and Child, Hood, a memorial to modern martyrs. Venture down to the crypt and discover the tombs and memorials of some of the nation's greatest heroes, such as Admiral Lord Nelson and the Duke of Wellington, along with the builder of the cathedral, Sir Christopher Wren. If you've got a head for heights, visit the Stone and Golden Galleries to take in some of the most spectacular views across London. Experience breathtaking views along the central aisle as you enter the cathedral. Pause to admire Wellington's monument, a tribute to the Duke of Wellington, one of the country's leading soldiers and statesmen. There are also monuments to the explorer Robert Scott and the painter J.M.W. Turner, along with a marble effigy of John Donne, a poet and former dean of the cathedral. Look for the scorch mark on the base of the monument, which was damaged in the Great Fire. The cathedral is open Mondays through Saturdays for sightseeing. Doors typically open at 8:30 a.m. and Wednesdays at 10:30 a.m. Last entry is usually at 4 p.m. The cathedral is closed for sightseeing on Sundays due to church service. Times do vary by date, so visitors are advised to check the daily schedule. Enjoy entry to the magnificent St. Paul's Cathedral, one of London's most iconic landmarks, steeped in over 300 years of history. Explore the awe-inspiring interior where legendary figures of British history. Climb to the top of the majestic dome for breathtaking aerial views over London. Use my link to get entrance tickets to St. Paul's Cathedral. The City of London combines medieval, Baroque, Victorian, and modern London into one walk. No other district compresses so many eras in one small footprint. Tower Bridge was built right next to the Tower of London, deliberately designed to harmonize with its medieval neighbor. Together, they symbolize London's continuity, with the tower anchoring its medieval past and the Tower Bridge showcasing its industrial age innovation. The City of London is the most walker mile. The City of London is the most walkable square mile in the country. Everything is minutes apart. Tower Hill to Edenhall Market is about 10 minutes walk. Cannon Street to St. Paul is 8 minutes walk, while the Monument to Sky Garden is about 4 minutes walk. In my next vlog, I'll be cruising the River Thames, visiting Greenwich and Canary Wharf.